We bought a $3,000 rat rod Jeep, drove it from LA to the Desert Bar in Park, Arizona, and sold it to these guys for $407. That's Finnegan economics. On this episode of Roadkill, Freiberger wanted to go off-roading, so he said buy a Jeep, and I did. Just not the kind of Jeep he was expecting. I bought this Jeep in the dark in the dead of winter, and I parked it under a tarp for the last 3 months. Freiberger's never seen it. I forget what it even looks like. He's in for a hell of a surprise.
This is going to be the least organized roadkill ever, and that's saying something. It's gonna make a mosh pit look like a precision military operation. He bought something, and I have not even seen it. So this is gonna be bad.
Hey, do you see your new Jeep?
Hey.
We're friends, right?
This is the surprise?
See your Jeep.
Okay.
You wanted to go off-roading. I know of a bar that you can only get to by dirt, and what better way to get to the bar than in a Jeep? This is your Jeep.
It's a flat rod, isn't it? Jeep rod!
She's not quite ready to go for a test drive.
No. Oh, it's cool.
It's cool for a minute until you really start staring at her.
Oh, it's an MB. It's a genuine World War II grill anyway. Huh, this tire's touching this fender.
Oh, it's got airbags. It lifts up.
Great. That always works out well.
As long as they never leak, that's not a problem. And because it's sat here for 3 months and I haven't looked at it, it's puked all the guts out of the tranny onto the pavement here. So we're gonna have to remedy that.
Oh, good.
And
that's not that much. It'll be fine.
And there's no compressor for the airbags, so we're gonna have to rig something up a la Ranchero style.
Chevy. Does it run good?
No. It needs a tune-up. We need to obviously top off the fluids. It needs a cotter pin for every single castle nut. I am a little concerned about the fact that the airbags are mounted single shear, no gussets.
This is ugly.
But I think if we put fluids in it and cotter pins,
it can't weigh anything.
Get air in the bags, we could at least go drive down the street and see if it'll make it.
Where are we going?
We are going to the Nelly E Saloon, a bar in the Buckskin Mountains in Park, Arizona that you can only get to on a dirt trail.
I don't know if you noticed, but those are not BFG mud terrains.
Well, I mean, we're not rock crawling, but it is, you know, we may high center her.
It looks cool.
It's got style. It has no substance, though.
So where do we begin? Does it run?
I don't know. It's been 3 months since I've seen it. Crank it over.
No.
As usual, the battery's dead. Air compressor, lift it off the ground, fluids, get a battery, test drive. You get the feeling that we buy the same stuff over and over again every time we do this.
How many jacks have we bought for Roadkill?
I don't understand why they won't let us take brake clean and, you know, jack handles on airplanes.
It has oil, with only a little water in it.
Well, we're by the beach. There's a lot of condensation.
Tastes okay. I'm the editor of Hot Rod Magazine, but a lot of people don't know that I was also the editor of Four Wheel and Off-Road for a long time. I'm really hardcore off-road guy, and especially a hardcore Jeep guy. I've got like 7 flat fender Jeep bodies and half rollers and all sorts of stuff sitting around my house. And I've always wanted to do this to one. Well, not exactly like this, but make a hot rod out of it. Oh, I can get the front wheels off the ground. Check it.
You can watch the shock mount bend as you're doing that.
Look at the front axle. Look at the rotation on it. Oh, we're dead. I've been 260 miles an hour in a Camaro. I'm more scared of that.
The first time I welded on my mini truck right after high school, it looked better than what I'm seeing under here.
Yeah.
You realize nothing about this is, even the button to start it is right.
It runs bad. So that needs a little bit of attention. We only had 2 days to get to Parker, and this was going to be the last day of the year that the desert bar was open. We found out there actually was a compressor on board, and we got some air into the rear bags, but we had to make the engine run right, and it did not help that the firing order was wrong. I've seen sketchier hot rods in my life. I just haven't driven in them. 2 cylinders were switched. I have a feeling that's not going to fix everything on this pile, though.
The airbag is rubbing the frame, and the shock is hitting the airbag mount. So as we drive down the road, that airbag rubbing there, rubber against steel, puts a hole in that bag, and then that blows and we crash.
We've got to re-drill this to move this airbag further outboard. Riding in this might be so miserable that you just crave the relief that only sweet death can bring.
Getting the shock out of the way so that we can cut this part of the mount off that's wedging itself into the shock.
This mount that I can flex by hand.
I was thinking to myself, why does this look weird to me? And I walked over here and I went, oh, the shock's installed upside down.
The bat wing doohickey here is hitting the shock body, so when the axle twists like this, which we know it does because it's a mess, it's going to bend and bind that whole shock, so that's why we're putting it back upside down right now.
You're supposed to put spacers in between them when you weld them together so that they don't do that. He didn't do that. We put Band-Aids on the suspension, tuned the engine as best we could, topped off the fluids, and then it was time to hit the road.
Ready for first test drive?
Why does the steering wheel have to be this large?
It's a stock Jeep wheel. It's good.
It's not good because the brake pedal is... Okay, so that's what I'm gonna have to do to get to the brakes. This is the Sailor Jerry car without a roof. Look at this.
It is. I'm more comfortable than the rat rod, significantly.
Well, that's because you're not over here. You don't have a steering wheel in your crotch. When I run into the back of a semi,
let's go.
We're leaving in the middle of traffic. You know that, right?
The slow speed will save us. Okay. So much for talking to each other.
What? Yeah, it's great. I know.
This is not connected to anything, you know?
Yeah, but it feels better using it, you know?
Yeah.
Is there any brake fluid in this thing?
There was.
Because I'm having to use both feet to stop.
Oh yeah, we've never tried to stop before.
No.
Will it stop? Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, with 2 feet.
We can make it the whole way like this. Runs good. Sort of.
I just set up a car alarm. Yeah, here we go. Ready?
Headed back to the office to meet up with our official naysayer, KJ Jones from 50 Mustang Magazine.
Look at all that travel.
Bro. No.
No?
No, this is gonna
You don't like the Batman
It's gonna
themed
break
shock
severely,
mounts?
man. Look at this right here.
Oh, what are you saying?
Come on, Dave. Come on, bro. It's got a ladder bar, man.
Yeah, but they're attached well.
No f***ing way. Look at that. No.
Then there's this problem.
Open headers.
get done it this time.
So while KJ headed inside to take out a life insurance policy on us, we needed to go over to a local hardware store and fix the suspension before hitting the road. But first, we were gonna live up to one of Finnegan's dreams and take one of our utter piles of garbage and valet it at a high-end restaurant. Good tonight.
Okay. You show you how to work it?
I don't know.
Who can blame the valet guy for not wanting to park this thing? He was a bit confused when he went to put the ticket on our windshield and discovered we didn't have one. We lost our window.
Oh, this is swank.
Oh, we have to celebrate.
Yeah. When we've done roadkill with beater vehicles for like the past year, every single time we've wanted to go through the high-end valet. So we finally did it at that steakhouse back there, and they were unfazed. But now we're at the hardware store because we still have to fix the ladder bar mount and ratchet strap down our junk, and what else? Fluids, gas again.
My junk's fine. But yeah, let's go get some stuff to hold things together. Most of the bolts have nylock nuts, which are great for holding things together that vibrate, except when the bolt doesn't protrude all the way out the end of the nut, so the nylock can grab it, they tend to fall apart. And when they fall apart on the suspension, you die. So we're gonna remedy that situation with longer bolts.
It's 9 p.m. on day one. We've gone 1 mile. We're continuing to wrench on the Jeep. Remains to be seen if we're gonna hit the road tonight or if we're gonna end up hitting it in the morning. It was late and we had to hit the sack. No one took it. Dang it.
I don't think they could figure out how to work it.
Did you call your wife and say it's been nice knowing you?
I called her and I said,
I love you.
You'll be happy to know that all the work we did yesterday wasn't for speed or efficiency. It was just to make sure we didn't die today. And she thanked me because she said she'd like to have another child and she wants that child to have the same father. All those rabbit turds in the bottom of this car make me feel like I need more safety equipment than usual.
Tuck my hearing so I can hear my baby someday. All right, ready? Can you even hear me?
No, that's the good part about that.
I'm going full on Darth Vader.
Good to go.
Oh yeah, this is comfortable.
This is like going on the freeway in a skateboard with a Briggs & Stratton on the back.
Hey, how fast are we going?
I can't hear you! I think this is the first time in my life I've wished for heavy traffic.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. Runs like a champ.
.18 gallons.
And 51 miles. What do you think? Keep it or sell it?
I'm gonna have a lot of fun getting to the bar. After that, I don't need to drive this ever again. I'm fine with disposing it. So here's what we do, right? We turn on Glimpse so people can follow us, but they don't know where we're going. And we tell them, follow us to this bar. Whoever's in the seat at last call, which is 6 o'clock at this particular bar, has to pay our tab and they can take it home.
Right now it makes me kind of sad to think of it being gone, but after another 400 miles, I'm thinking I'm anxious for that. So I'm gonna put it on Facebook. We're just saying, you gotta follow us or figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to a bar.
We're going to a bar.
We really weren't sure how many people were gonna show up to buy this Jeep, but within an hour, we actually had 500 people following us online.
Finnegan seemed happy to drive, and I think it's because there's a steering wheel to hold on to. You don't sit in this thing, you sit on it. And there's one of 100 things that could break on this thing and then just throw us right out onto the pavement. There's oil on the floor.
It's coming up from the floor?
Coming out of the crack right there.
Like not down the firewall from the bottom.
Yeah.
How's that possible? That kind of looks pink.
Yeah, it's transmission fluid.
All right.
Transmission fluid catches on fire. That'll be fun.
Well, just drive faster.
It'll blow it out. No, semi. And go. At one time, this was the world's largest military installation. It went from here in California all the way to Arizona. It's where Patton trained like 1 million guys to go fight in Africa. And a lot of the surplus Jeeps in California came out of here. This is a genuine World War II Jeep. It's like a 41 to 45, which you know because it has a different grille, blackout lights, the hood doesn't say Willys like the civilian ones do. Bantam initially came up with a design for the World War II Jeep, and they were too small to do it, and so Willys ended up getting the contract, and they were too small to build them, and so the government actually had Ford make a bunch of them too. This could be a Ford. So yeah, it's a Willys or a Ford. It's a hot rod. We were cruising down the highway at the end of the day and getting passed by every car, and I'm even falling asleep. So I pulled over to hand the keys to Finnegan, and what does he do? Gets us stuck immediately on flat ground. How pathetic that a Jeep is stuck here.
This Jeep sucks, man.
See, this is why the Jeep rod concept is completely wrong, because you remove the front axle, you make it two-wheel drive, you take all the Jeepness out of the Jeep, and then you get it stuck at the side of the road.
Because we didn't fix the shifter earlier today, we're gonna fix it now with a cotter pin and a zip tie to connect the linkage back together.
And here comes someone offering to help.
Oh, hope they got a tow strap.
You need a hand with anything?
You have a yank strap?
You got a yank strap? We're gonna strap his car to our car with an extension cord. That's right, an extension cord. That's what's gonna get us out of this mess. We just traded 4 gallons of gas for a 3-foot tow with an extension cord.
How did you end up over the edge like that?
They're making a U-turn.
Right now it's 11:15 and we're in the middle of nowhere fixing this thing because it's puking so bad. The desert bar opens at noon and closes at 6 p.m. Hopefully this junk is gonna make it on a 12-mile dirt road all the way out to this bar in the middle of nowhere. Wow, that's leaking bad.
Once I cleaned everything off, it was really hard to tell where it's coming from because it's not running and the fountain's not moving. David wants me to start it up on the jack right now. Genuinely afraid because I think this thing's just gonna ghost ride itself off into that field and then
It'll stop when it hits the ditch.
at that point I'm leaving it. I'm not even gonna pull it out if it ends up in that ditch. Flashlight's right there, have fun.
Okay, 8. It is the transcooler line.
It wasn't leaking out of the fittings, so the line must have a hole in it.
It must, because it's squirting up and then running down. Okay, we're not fixing that, so it's fine, right?
I'm okay with it. Just keep buying more ATF.
When you know the rules, you're allowed to break them. And we know that that's not supposed to leak, so we're good. Like that.
Oh my God.
There's the car wash.
Ooh, and there's nobody in line. That means it's all ours.
We need this clean.
They're all like, what in the hell is
Yep.
that? Notice how nobody's jumping
You're
up
not
to
leaping to action.
They're like, we're not washing your car.
See, we're selling this today and we need it to be spiffy.
I want you to use the good soap, not the stuff you use on everybody else's cars.
That's right.
Are you brothers?
No.
That's my dad.
Yeah,
Don't forget the chrome.
right.
It's like the one nice part on the whole car. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you for the donut. This thing is a smoke machine. So of course we did burnouts before we left the pavement for the last time.
I thought this thing was bad on pavement, but we hit the dirt and I felt like I was inside a paint shaker. This is why I told you I wanted a Jeep. You know what the funny thing is these people think they're roughing it. They have no top on their full-on rock-crawling Jeep.
They don't know what life's about.
You're a rugged outdoorsman, dude. Have fun with your radio communication. Yeah, remember, no front brakes or no rear brakes. What was that? It must have broken, right? The bag might have blown. Yep. Bag mount broke off.
Hey, don't make it worse.
You knew that was gonna happen. Make it worse.
We're close. Let's just keep going. Okay, so now we have no suspension at all. Because now that that bag broke,
This one's also flat.
yeah,
They're together.
They're teed together, so
Yep.
we have no air in the front suspension. I don't care. Let's just get to the beer. The Desert Bar is legendary, and I had this picture in my mind of what kind of an oasis it was going to be. And we rounded the corner, and there it is! Wow! We're gonna make it! The only problem is this place has no phone, no internet, so we couldn't call them in advance to get permission to shoot Roadkill there. And when we got there, they said, no cameras, no way. The problem with this deal is that we showed up 45 minutes before closing time, and we didn't feel we could really run up a tab that was what the Jeep's worth. But we tried. You do not want to see what it looks like when Finnegan and I drink $400 worth of alcohol in 45 minutes. And there was a couple people who showed up who had driven all the way from Phoenix and Scottsdale just to look at the Jeep and see if they could buy it. Yeah, those guys took one look and hit the road. But there was a guy in the bar, though, who recognized me from Hot Rod Magazine. I told him the story, he walked out into the parking lot and made the flash decision. He had to own this thing. Sucker. The most incredible thing is not just that we lived, but that we made it all the way to Arizona without getting arrested. With no windshield, no mufflers, no seatbelts, no license plates, no registration, no common sense. Come to think of it, that's pretty normal here on Roadkill. Go for the best beer at work ever. Best beer at work ever. Wait, hold on. That sounded drunk. That's Finnegan Economics.
Finnonomics.
Finnecomics.
Most drunk roadkill ever.
All of the ladies come back.
Why would you want them out?
Wait, you're not in the photo. You got to come around front. Because you're not all. No, both of you, all the way in front. Because you're not in the photo.
Boobs are good.
This is like girl boy kind of.
Yeah. All the girls on my side. You want to do that again?